Good day, guys, and today I'm going to teach you how to create an aspirational product 101. 101. So, class is in session, you all should pay attention. So, first things first, what are aspirational products? Aspirational products are the same thing as or what we would call luxury products. So, usually, they're those products that a lot of people can't afford but they want to buy, or they would buy them when they have the resources because it connotes a status symbol. And most times, aspirational products are not marketed for their functional benefit. So you will never see, you will never see an aspirational product being marketed as, oh, if it is a pair of slippers, it will cover your feet or whatnot. It's usually marketed in such a way that it gives you the impression that by using it, it makes you stand out from the pack. You'll be noticed. You'll be regarded as a big boy. It gives you a special status. So those are that's how aspirational products work. And the reason why aspirational products are, I won't say they are good, is because most times aspirational products have a lot of high margins attached to them. So when a product is aspirational, you are not looking at it, customers are not looking at it from the functional standpoint. So it's more of like, by using this product, it's going to give me a particular status. So because of that, you could sell it at 100% of its cost price. That's one of the beauties of aspirational product or luxury product, as the case may be. So, but we'll get into that further down the line. So for today's discussion, we're going to be using Ashlocks as our case study. So Ashlocks is an urban streetwear brand based in Lagos. They are doing very well. They are big. They are becoming a household name, and a lot of people are keen into the brand. Although most are wearing fake, but that's beside the point. It's still brand visibility anyway. Although it's hot in their pockets, the company's pockets. So, and for context, the picture you see on the screen is a Vapor Max 2020, is a Nike sneaker, and that costs $200. This slide you see, this Ashlock slide, costs $200 as well. So by definition of a luxury product, I think Ashlock fits the bill. If you're selling a pair of slides for $200, that's about, forget about minimum wage. Even by American standard, that's expensive. So yes, that's the reason why we're using them as a case study. So having said all of that, let's dive right straight into the nitty-gritty of things. So the four ways in which you can create an aspirational product as an entrepreneur who I am teaching, or I believe is listening to this video or watching this video, whatever it is you want to call it, is the number one step is product placement. So product placement is, in simple definition, basically means embedding your product in another media so as to drive home the point, or to send an unconscious message to the viewer. Let me repeat. Product placement is the process of embedding your product in another media so as to drive home the point, or to drive a point subconsciously in the mind of the viewer. So let me explain. So for instance, it is like when let's use our case study. Let me not get us confused. For Ashlocks now, for instance, now Ashlocks have been, the first time I saw Ashlocks was on the video, then Naira Marley, then Zlatan, without them having to say anything. By Zlatan wearing Ashlocks in his music video, Naira Marley wearing it in his music video or in his social media post, Davido's wearing it in his music video or in a social media post, all those are a form of product placement. He doesn't need to say anything. That's the idea of product placement. Just the whoever it is that is doing what is doing in the media. So let's assume it's a music video, is a skit, is a YouTube video, whatever. They don't need to say anything. They just wear the product and just go about their business. Because for me, I think product placement is more organic than endorsement. So endorsement, they have this, you do a photo shoot and all of that. They'll put billboard. Oh, David is the official endorser of Infinix and all of that. Yes, that's an endorsement. That's cool. The question is that, does Davido use an Infinix phone in his personal time? That I do not know. However, if Davido is spotted using an Infinix phone on several occasions, maybe in his music video, the music video is started, with him operating an Infinix phone. Without saying a word, he's driving home the point that this phone is cool. I'm using it, so you too should use it as well. Again, my point. So that's the idea of product placement. Embedding your product in a media. Now there are two things to watch out for. First things first, you have to be very very certain that the audience that media is entertaining, videos. So by media I mean skits, social media posts, music video, and all of that. The audience is similar to your customer base by way of demographics. So your audience, your customer base and that audience are the same age, sex, religious affiliation, have the same attitude, opinion, interest, and all of that. So for instance, using our Ashlocks case study, Ashlocks is an urban streetwear brand that appeals to people, teens, mid 30s. And if you go back, so because I said, so why I said mid 30s is that you will hardly find a man in his 40s wearing joggers to, for those guys, joggers has to chill. You understand? But we who are younger, we could use joggers to go out, hang out with our friends, and all of that. So the point is, the audience that listen to Zlatan, Davido, Naira Marley's music, Malians and all of that, are the same set of people that could comfortably fall into the customer base that would be buying Ashlocks. So it made sense to do product placement with using these guys. Do you get my point? So if you are an entrepreneur wanting to go down this route of creating an aspirational product, using product placement, you have to make sure that the audience or the audience of the media you want to embed your product in have to be similar to your customer base in terms of demographics. Number two, premium pricing. If it's going to be a product that drives home exclusivity, gives the user a form of status symbol, it has to be something that not everybody can afford, because I think the idea is that the product is making you stand out from the pack. You understand? And it will not make sense if the entire pack can buy it. So yes, you have to have premium pricing. So if you look at this shirt now, this shirt is costing well over $150. Even by American standard, that's an expensive shirt. You understand? Because how much does the average American earn on a weekly basis? And which is like this is like the one of the biggest economies in the world. You get. So the idea is that premium pricing is an important aspect of creating an aspirational product. Now after that, the next one is you have to control supply. You cannot, if you flood the market with your product, even if you put premium prices, naturally the forces of demand and supply will crash your prices, because they're saying, when supply increases, demand reduces, and when supply reduces, demand increases, and when demand increases due to drop in supply, which I suggest you do if you're trying to create an aspirational product, you now have plenty money chasing few goods. Naturally that creates scarcity cross increase prices. You understand? So it's just economics 101. So basically control supply so that you can maintain your premium prices for your product. And also it also drives home that point of exclusivity, which is like, this thing is not easy to buy, but I have it and it costs me X amount of money. Do you understand? Then the fourth one is the quality has to reflect the price. If I'm using $300 to buy a t-shirt, that shirt better not slack, or else I'll fight somebody. Do you understand? So that's the point. I do believe that Ashlock shirts are good. I've never had the privilege to buy one. I don't think I'll use $300 to buy a shirt, but it's a nice shirt. I really like the robotic arm one that they have. But the point is, like, the quality of the product has to back up the price. Now, having said that, let me just do a quick recap. 4 steps into creating an aspirational product. Number 1, product placement, which I've explained. Make sure that the audience that you're going to embed your product in are similar to your customer base. Number 2, premium pricing. There's no point in making it affordable, or rather, there's no point in marketing it as exclusive if everybody can buy it. Number 3, control supply. If you flood the market with your product, maybe you notice that you start and you discover that people are really buying it for the premium price you said. You now decide to flood the market. In the forces of demand and supply, we crash your price for you. So you have to control supply. Using Ashlocks as an example, Ashlocks is not everywhere to buy. Most of what you see are fake. You get my point? I don't know about their distribution channel, but I know that Ashlocks is not as widespread as it supposedly is. Most of what you see are actually fake. They are not original Ashlocks. But that's beside the point. It's still brand visibility, although it's hurting that company's pocket, but it's still giving the brand visibility nonetheless and driving home the point. Number 4 is quality. The quality has to back up the price. If someone's going to buy a shirt for $300, that shirt better not like I said, it better not wash, or I'll fight somebody, or they will fight somebody. Just saying. However, having said all of this, the limitations to creating or let me not say limitations, one of the downsides to aspirational product, especially in a country like Nigeria, is there are two things. Number one is fake. Once your product starts popping, people start faking it. And I said something just now. I said most of the ash looks you see around are actually fake. You get my point? So once your products start popping, fakes start coming in, and these guys are trying to you know, and they are usually cheaper. So fakes are usually cheaper than the original, and they are not so since it's an aspirational product, people don't really care for the product because of the function. It's more so the visibility, the brand visibility. I want people to see me wearing the shirt. So a lot of times you now see these fakes begin to hurt your market share or divide your market share into two. So that's the problem. Problem number 2 is the numbers. So for instance, if you're gonna be selling, your price, your premium price, however you set it, you have to sell enough of that product to cover up your operating expenses, make profits, report to your investors if you have investors, or pay yourself salary and reinvest back in the business. You have to be very careful. So when you are doing premium pricing for your product, you have to take note of the market you belong to, or the market you currently reside, the market that your business is setting. You have to ask yourself, is there a large enough portion of the market that can afford my product at this price? You understand? So if you're going to be selling, let's assume, using the Ashlocks example now, for $300 for a shirt, Ashlocks must have done their calculation. Or I do believe, let me not assume, I do believe Ashlocks would have done their calculation to tell themselves that, there's a large enough portion of Nigerians that can afford to buy a shirt for $300. If not, if you price your product at a premium, which is beyond, and the number of people, no, sorry to scrap that word beyond. If you price your product at a price point that only very few persons within your market can afford, what happens is that the revenue you'll be getting will not be enough to sustain you as a business, and you'll have to file for bankruptcy because you can't meet, forget about even profit now, you can't pay your salaries, you can't pay your bills and stuff like that, so you're essentially bankrupt. You understand? So there it is, how to create an aspirational product 101. So any questions, complaints, contributions, my comment sections are always open. So without further ado, class dismissed. Later.